All right, I think it's recording. Um, if you're here live, if you could share um, who are you? What's your name? And where are you coming in from? And why you're here. If you just want to say a little bit about what prompted you to sign up for this and come into this, and what you want out of this. Like, what's your desire when you thought about signing up for a free self-seduction workshop? What was your longing or desire that you were hoping to be filled? So if you want to share that in the chat, I would so appreciate you doing so that we can get a little bit of interaction. The way that I offer workshops and different experiences that I offer, I really love the engagement and the dialogue of it. And so I can totally hang without having reciprocation and mutual engagement. I did that with my partner play shops, and it was totally fine, and it's great. I can hang there. And also, there's something really powerful about being together live and being able to get real-time connection and community when it comes to pleasure and our relationship with ourselves. Of course, um, when coming into this particular play shop, it's really important that you know that your interaction with others here isn't the goal of it, though. So some of this one especially, I'll be doing a little bit more. I mean, all of them will have some level of self-reflection, but there will be opportunities in this session in particular where you can answer some questions. And it's so great to kind of hear what other people have to respond as well. It's also when you come live, if you have questions or anything that we're doing, if it's bringing some feelings or sensations up, we can work with it in real time. And I can make space afterwards, after the practices to answer any questions, to dialogue with you, to be in process with you. I have a lot of skills and a lot of experience to support people that are on this journey of embodiment and self-discovery and self-love. And so, there's definitely some benefits to coming live if you can. Um, and then, of course, if you're here live to share, if you want to share. And at the end of it, your interaction with other people isn't the goal of this. This particular play shop is for you, about you, and really centered in and around your relationship with yourself, not necessarily with other people. Although doing that in community with other people can be incredibly rewarding. So, this is why I'm here and why I'm doing this. Okay, cool. Thank you, Sarah, for sharing. Um, always learn something about yourself, always finding different ways to connect with yourself and others throughout these experiences. And then Allie's driving home. She'll be home in 10. Okay, so Allie, if you want to share when you get home, great. Otherwise, just settle in, get cozy. And I'm glad that you're coming in, even if you're just popping in from the road. I always do that too. If I can come live even just for a short time, it just helps me feel connected to the material and the experiences, and it also gets me to do the recording because typically I'm like, ooh, I'm left off. Like I left off somewhere and I want to finish it. So and then yes, Holly from Georgia, living in Sioux City, hoping to find more self-love, connection, and confidence in my body. As I'm aging, it is difficult to accept all the changes for sure. Cool. So thank you. And the thing with sharing too, and when we're live, is that oftentimes we realize we're not alone in our experiences, and that a lot of things that we're sort of struggling with or insecure about in our own bodies and our own hearts and experiences, a lot of other people have as well. And it's just nice to know that we're not alone in that, and also not alone in finding our way through that. Okay, so obviously my name is Jackie. Most of you who've signed up for this live and or recording, if you're watching this at a later time, I just first of all say thank you for signing up for this and welcome. My name is Jackie. I know most of you, some of you, or some unfamiliar names coming in. So if this is your first time connecting with me and or my facilitation and my space holding, just so grateful that you're here. And I don't hold your, I do hold your presence very delicately and with a lot of humility, knowing that it's no small thing when humans, especially humans with such big divine hearts, offer their time, their attention, their resources to something like this. I just hold it with a lot of gratitude. So I want to share why I offered this free session is to give people a little taste of what we will be practicing in my No Ordinary Love series. Right now, it just has two dates in June. One is coming up this Thursday. So if you'd like today and you want to sign up for Thursday to either come live or receive that as a recording, and then the other one is later in the month, I believe. I don't remember the date, but I'll put the link in here where you can sign up for that or at least get more information about that. But what No Ordinary Love is a opportunity for you to stay accountable in a community, to connect with yourself in an intimate and holy, sacred way. I'm a therapist, I'm a yoga instructor, I'm a student of Tantra yoga. I have a lot of experience over several decades of working with um, individuals and couples on intimacy and developing intimacy within themselves for themselves, working within the realms of the body. A lot of my approaches are very Jungian, um, systemic, they are relational and spiritual as much as they are grounded in a lot of real evidence-based practice and experience. And practices that I have done myself and know to be true, to be very effective in helping us find a deeper kind of love. I think so many of us were never given a real modeling of what self-love really looks like. I think our culture preaches a lot of self-love and self-care, but not many of us actually know what that means, especially in times of genocide and war and pandemics and oppression and so many ways in which our world is dying and being reborn at these times. I really feel like this is my duty and my dharma to help people stay in a deeper kind of wholeness and love inside of their own bodies, first and foremost. And even in the couples work that I do, which if you want to join our couples workshop that's happening at 9 o'clock tonight, Central Standard Time. But even in the couples work that I do, it's really based on differentiation, which is having intimacy with oneself first before looking to another to fulfill something inside of you that maybe you have disregarded, repressed, or shamed into submission within your own self and your own being. So, what is No Ordinary Love? What is today? Although, when my hope is to continue this every month. I want this to become a monthly, twice experience where we get to come together and be in shadow work practice, embodiment practice, womb work, somatic work, internal family systems work, parts work, movement, ritual, that it's going to include the whole sort of set at different times, writing, embodied writing, free writing, so that you can have a dedicated place twice a month to come and receive from yourself. And for me, um, I need, in order to follow through on things, I need it to be erotic. I need it to be pleasurable. I need there to be some sort of pull. And for me, that's being with other people. So, it's interesting to because I want to be with other people, but it's about the relationship with myself. And so I thought I would offer this in community where people could be guided. Because again, it's like, well, okay, spend time with myself and okay, well, what do I do? Sit alone and then like what, scroll my phone, journal, and like do a little bit of practice, but like sometimes being guided into a deeper process can be really helpful in going a little bit deeper and having a witness. What we know about journeys of any kind is that when we have community or a witness or something or someone or someone's holding us around that process, there can be a deeper experience that happens. So, and to know that we're not alone in it. We don't, yes, this is a virgin birth. You loving yourself is a virgin birth. Only you yourself can do it. Only you yourself will go on a journey with yourself through this process. But you are witnessed, you are held, you are not alone inside of that. It's like this is a doula for you to, this space and this time is a dedicated doula space for you to birth a new relationship with yourself. And I'm so happy that you're here. So maybe you're just here for this free session, which is great. Maybe you want to join us for the No Ordinary Love series. Right now, I just have June scheduled, and I'm hoping to get July scheduled as well. Just with summer starting, I just needed to go with June and do this and then go from there. So I'm going to put that link in here for you. Okay. So if you want to sign up for the No Ordinary Love series, you can do that just by clicking on that link that goes to my website and then look under workshops and you'll see the No Ordinary Love June special. And it's $35 for the 2 sessions if you can come. And then they're virtual and recorded. All right. So a note on consent. It's important when working with the realm of your body to see it as a sovereign entity, a sovereign being that is sort of separate from, but also a part of who you are. And that your body deserves to be held with deep respect, and consent is a part of that. So we acknowledge that what we want in our mind and in our ego's desires may not always be what our body is okay with. And that can sometimes be very frustrating when our body cannot meet us in our longing. But any, rel oh, okay, these just died. Any relationship, um, we learn to accept and increase our capacity for our body's own pace. And so, also, just because sometimes the body says no, doesn't mean that we don't sometimes make a different choice. And the thing with violating our own boundaries is we actually do have, because that's going to happen sometimes. We don't always know that we have a boundary until we cross it, is that there's also an opportunity to repair at any given point. So just be playful and curious and experimenting, have an energy of experimentation and playfulness when moving into this session and then the sessions in No Ordinary Love. You can ask your body for consent before doing any of the practices, whether it be writing, any touching practices, moving, anything that we do here. You're welcome to ask your body for consent, including showing up live. Like, hey, how am I feeling? Like, it's great to check in with yourself first to see if you, in fact, have the capacity to be here live or to be here, period, if you're doing the recording. And okay, sometimes the showing up is what gives us the capacity. So even sometimes when the body is exhausted, actually showing up is what helps us increase our capacity and gives us energy. So just be mindful about that, knowing you always have a choice to engage or not engage in any of the practices that I offer to you through this process. Okay.
So, this session is going to include a little bit more talking and a little bit more dialogue. So, if you have any questions so far, or if you have any wisdom for those of you that are here live that you want to share, feel free to put in the chat. I would love to have conversation about that. So, I want to talk a little bit about the self because it can be a little tricky when we're using the word self-love, self-pleasure, self-seduction. I'm kind of a linguist at heart, and it's like, well, what does self actually mean? Getting curious about what is the definition of the self? Who is that? What is that? Where is that? What does this exactly mean to seduce the self? And I'm curious if any of you live have any thoughts on that. I would love to hear. And then, of course, if you're doing the recording, you can jot some of these questions down and self-reflect. And always feel free to email me or message me. I would love to send me a voice note because I would love to hear what your thoughts are. But the self is an actual thing that we have. And some people might, we have the ego, which is not necessarily the self. I think the self can include the ego because we need the ego in order to actually have a self. I need to be an I. Ram Dass says we need to become somebody before we become nobody. And a lot of times, what I find is that a lot of humans that are in my field, meaning like people who come into communities that I facilitate in or just participate in, or friends or family, people, acquaintances of mine, just people who run in my circles, are these really deep-hearted, very empathic, sensitive human beings. And we're very much about the whole, about the union with everything, which is so incredible. We almost, though, become absolved and love to dissolve ourselves in the union of everything and see ourselves connected to everything as a whole, which is true and ultimately the truth. And also, we are separate beings. I am I, and you are you. This is my body, that is your body. This body is mine, that body is yours. And my experience, although if we were to have conversation, in your experience are probably at the root of it very similar. Our fears, our desires are probably shared to a great degree. There is also some aspects to each of us that are very different and unique. And what I would love to see happen through our time together and in the No Ordinary Love series is that you get to develop a relationship with who you are as Sarah, who you are as Holly, who you are as Allie, who I am as Jackie, that are, of course, similar in many ways and ultimately one, but different in our own way. I can come to appreciate the strengths, the specific geniuses, and the unique gifts that you bring into the world, as well as your own shadows. So, this is why shadow work is a part of the No Ordinary Love series, because if we are I really talk about eroticizing our shadows, and there's something about making love to them that is so interesting. Not just mothering our shadows, but making love to them. That some of our shadows aren't just small little children inside, that some of them are very dark, old, deep personalities that deserve to be seduced into our hearts. And the other piece of the self that I want to acknowledge is the self that Internal Family Systems talks about, which there's sort of your personality and the parts of yourself that have developed over time as a way to help you exist in the world and protect you and support you in the world in just surviving and being alive. But then there's also the self that is ultimately compassionate, curious, comical, caring, and many other things as well. But the part of you that is just settled in the center of who you are. And no one can really say who you are. That's also the part of this process is that you get curious about approaching yourself in this series and in our session today as if you are meeting yourself for the first time. And in couples work, I encourage couples to do this as well, is not to think that you know your partner so well. Even if you've been with them for decades, for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 50 years, is that you can still wake up each morning and go, who is this person today? And how do I find some intrigue and curiosity to discover her or him or them? Okay, so this isn't about coming into this knowing yourself and loving yourself just as you are right here, right now. This is about curiosity and intrigue. I mean, seduction is all about the mystery. And so we begin by not knowing ourselves at all. And that's to me some of the most in the one of the most interesting ways to start anything, any relationship is by not knowing anything about this person and being wildly curious to know more, or at least a slightly intrigued, if anything. And I don't think you would be here if you had no longing at all to, or no call at all to come to know yourself. On a physiological level, the self has actually been studied to be an actual place in the brain. And so it's the place where we get to think about ourselves, and it occupies like kind of a unique, special place in our mind. There's this really unique, special place in our brain that the self resides, where we get to contemplate and self-reflect. And so I know for me, sometimes thinking about me as a separate human being can sometimes bring on some existential anxiety. And I just want to let you know that it's really normal to think about yourself. Actually, especially with the word narcissism and all of that coming out so much more in the recent decade, there is a real good reason to think about yourself, and your brain has the capacity to do that and needs to do that. Um, and then your sense of self is changing all the time. So what you find in today's session may be different tomorrow. So we also make space that we aren't trying to find this like grounded place that once I know myself and love myself, that will be the end of it. But this is not a journey to somewhere. It is a journey in and of itself to right here, right now, with what is happening inside of me in this moment. Who am I today? And what is my experience? And how do I come to meet myself in that place in a loving way? I have a poem that I would love to read for you. And this is called Radical Gratitude Spell by Adrienne Marie Brown. She's um, the author of Pleasure Activism. You are a miracle walking. I greet you with wonder. In a world which seeks to own your joy and your imagination, you have chosen to be free every day as a practice. I can never know the struggles you went through to get here, but I know that you have swum upstream, and at times it has been lonely. I want you to know I honor the choices you made in solitude, and I honor the work you have done to belong. I honor your commitment to that which is larger than yourself and your journey, to love the particular container of life that is you. You are enough. Your work is enough. You are needed. Your work is sacred. You are here, and I am grateful. You are a miracle walking. I greet you with wonder. In a world which seeks to own your joy and your imagination, you have chosen to be free every day as a practice. I can never know the struggles you went through to get here, but I know you have swum upstream, and at times it has been lonely. I want you to know I honor the choices you made in solitude, and I honor the work you have done to belong. I honor your commitment to that which is larger than yourself and your journey, to love the particular container of life that is you. You are enough. Your work is enough. You are needed. Your work is sacred. You are here, and I am grateful. So if you have a piece of paper or a journal, you can get that out. And I'm going to turn on some music and we're just going to free write for like 3 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. And the prompt is, when I think of care and pleasure, I think of. When I think of care and pleasure, I think of. So go ahead and open up your paper, put pen to paper. Don't worry about what you're writing, just go for it. 2, 3 minutes. I'll let you know when it's time. When I think of care and pleasure, I think of.
What if right now is all that we got? Do you wanna love me or not? What if right now is all that we've got? Would you come into stillness with me? Would you soften those edges, baby? Let's not seek to understand, but rather be here so completely. Let's not ask if I would be your woman and you'd be my man. Won't you just be here with me? So completely. 'Cause if right now is all that we've got, there would be no questioning. Are we in this till the end? The end of what? The end of love. Oh, darling, there's no such thing. Won't you be here with me? Be here with me. Won't you be here with me? Be here with me. How I would love to be in the experience of love with you. How I would love to be in the experience of love with you. How I would love to be in the experience of love with you.
So you can find a place to complete that if you aren't already. For those of you that are here live, if you want to share in the chat, and I did share that poem in there, but if you'd like to share in the chat some of the things that came up for you, when I think of care and pleasure, I think of, again, it kind of comes back to definition and being curious about, okay, when I think about self-care, when I think about self-pleasure, even seduction, what does that actually mean? What are the images, the concepts, the experiences, the feelings in my body, the sensations? Like, what actually comes up for me? And sometimes that brings us a message of what we really want. Other times it brings up the conditioning that we have of what we're taught to believe care and pleasure is. But nonetheless, it's a good thing. It's a helpful thing to just reflect on. So, when I think of care and pleasure, I think of Sarah says rest, joy, electricity, laughter, care and pleasure as rest, joy, electricity, and laughter. Amazing. So these are some words, and whatever you wrote on the other side of this, whether you're doing the recording or other people who are here live, what we can do is this might give us some information about what you want from this process. Because care and pleasure is what this is all about. It's how we show ourself love, and it is our experience of aliveness. I think, if anything, us coming into this world as human was meant for care and pleasure. And we are designed for it. I mean, our whole makeup is designed for these things. And what we've gotten because of the culture that we're raised in our hyper individual, puritanical, industrial culture is opposite of that. You know, we might believe that care and pleasure, isn't for me, or it's not available. I can't receive. There might be other beliefs that come up. And so we want to challenge those. So depending on what came up, it might give you some information about what you really want. And then, we can kind of build the activities around that in order for you to get what you want and to feel cared for and pleasured, not by me, but by you yourself, of course, like, right? Like when we're together and being guided, of course, I'm here to facilitate and hold space. But then, for example, Sarah, this would be a way that she can court herself, or the way that she can be in relationship with herself is by, it's like, if somebody your partner was to ask, how can I care for you? How can I pleasure you and bring more pleasure into your life? How do I care for you? And you say, rest, joy, electricity, laughter. And they're like, you've got it, baby. I'm going to commit my whole week to bringing you these four things. And you come up with ideas of how to do it. So even after our session, because we are together only for an hour, today we're probably going to go to 8:15-ish. But oh, I mean, who am I kidding? Probably all of them will go late. But like after our short time together, there will be invitations for how you can pull this into every day of your life. Courting yourself, dating yourself, being in a deep, passionate, loving, caring, pleasurable relationship with yourself, intimacy through pleasure and care. Ali says, when I think of care and pleasure, I think of attunement, being held, softness, slowness, following what feels alive, emergent desire, showing up sovereign, being worshipped. Oh my God, love that one. My own temple nights. Oh my God, yes. Attunement, being held, softness, slowness, following what feels alive, emergent desire, showing up sovereign, being worshipped, my own temple nights with the fire emoji, care and pleasure. Mm. So, and then Holly, I see your response to care of myself, being cared for by others. I feel cared for when someone prepares a meal for me or an act of service. Pleasure, everything from sexual pleasure to the pleasure of travel and adventure, anything that brings joy. So beautiful. So, food, nourishment, adventure, physical pleasure, joy. We see some themes emerging too. And if you're doing the recording, thank you so much for those of you who are live for sharing that. It's like so cool to like hear your words about what care and pleasure is. And if you're doing the recording, like send them my way so I can also witness you in how you like to be cared and pleasured. And this is mostly not, again, for my information, but to be witnessed and reflected back what you need from yourself. I need to make myself a meal that's just for me. Like dating my body, dating this part of me that needs to prepare food only for me, not for anybody else. Um, to travel because I enjoy it. I'm taking myself on a trip because that is what I enjoy. So, a few other questions, and I'm just going to put these in the chat and I'll give you guys a few minutes to think about it. So, who taught you to feel good? Or I put what, but it's who taught you to feel good? Who awakened your senses? So, who taught you to feel good? Who awakened your senses? And you can think back to your life as a child, as an adolescent, maybe a young adult. Maybe right away you go toward um, a sexual encounter, or maybe you go to something in your uh, house growing up. You know, for me, this is going to be like a total personal share. So enjoy it. It's a little sexual in nature, but now you'll know something about me that only a few good friends know, and my husband. So, and if I'm sure I'm not alone in this because I know it's a thing, but when I was a kid, we had this banister in our upstairs, and I don't know what age I discovered that when I pushed my pelvis up against it, blood flow would come down towards my clitoris, which I didn't like even realize at the time. Like this is at such a young age, but the blood flow would like, you know, full get real full down there and just pulse, and it would feel so good. So one, and maybe that's why I subconsciously put what taught you to feel good instead of just who, which is like the banister for me taught me how to feel good in my body. Oh, I loved it and I craved it, and I would go to that banister almost every day and like push my pelvis against it, and it would just like bring me so much enjoyment of my body. Now, some people might feel really ashamed or confused about that if they didn't realize, like, oh, my body is actually designed for pleasure. And I did feel really ashamed about it as a kid for a while. I would like hide it, or if somebody would come around to the stairs, I would like jump off, like, oh my God, like, did anybody see that? Um, and so it might be something like that. That might be an example. Maybe it was um uh a television show, or like, oh, I'm trying to think of some old shows. Like if laughter is fun for you, it's like maybe there was a show that you watched on TV that would just like make you laugh and laugh and laugh. And so like this particular show just brought you so much joy. Oh yeah, really loving horseback riding around age 12. That rocking motion, man. Yes, get that stallion. It's so good. And it's fun to remember and reclaim these memories too. Take them out of the shame box and say, "Oh my God, my body has been designed for pleasure since it was born, literally sucking at the mother's breast." Like the release out of the vaginal canal, like, oh, being squeezed and then released. Like we're literally born in an erotic way. And it doesn't have to be like so sexualized. It's like just looking at the way in which our body is really designed for pleasure and is designed to be erotic. Um, Oh, thank you, Sarah. Yeah, I really didn't learn about true guiltless pleasure until um, meeting you, Jackie. Before meeting you, I always thought that pleasure should be earned, and if it wasn't, then I would feel guilty. Yeah, I mean, this is like one of the reasons what I feel like is so important. Me too. If I hadn't had my teachers, I've had the same. I mean, maybe like because I was the youngest of four, and I actually did grow up in a pretty uninhibited home. I remember my mother, so like who my mother actually taught me a lot about pleasure. She was sort of shameless in her pleasure. She would she would walk around in her robe just buttoned like at the breast and her like her full-on muff would just be like out and proud and she like we were naked in our home like there was not much inhibition or like her smoking a cigarette with her jeans unbuttoned after eating a full meal like to me I know that might like to our culture it'd be like oh my God smoking taking the your jeans unbuttoned like her big like my mom has passed away so thank God I don't need her consent to share these stories but like it's just like her full big belly just like coming out and then the first puff of a cigarette. Like I witnessed that as a child and it was like, oh, okay, like that is erotic. And I didn't know it at the time, but like that's also a way of witnessing that. But I too have had because of my own other conditioning, just as being a person with a vulva and a womb in the world is that, you know, we've been taught to sort of feel it, not sort of, but definitely feel ashamed of our bodies and for to love ourselves, like for God's sake, to like actually feel like I'm enough and I'm more than enough and I'm amazing and I can love myself and I actually can love myself more than I even love other people and care for myself more than I above caring for other people, especially if you're a mother or if you were raised to care for younger siblings or anything like that. But um, yeah, this is why I'm here is to just help us remember that our bodies were designed for this, actually. So I'm so glad to hear that, Sarah, and thank you so much for reflecting. I'm really receiving that. It feels really good. That feels really pleasurable. Um, so then another question. What is love? And how have we been taught about what it means to love? And if you want to jot some, if you're here live and you want to jot some things down, if you want to share in the chat, you can. We won't spend too much time on this because this is a pretty big question. I mean, all of these questions are pretty big. Um, but what, you know, again, what is love? What does it mean to love oneself? So this also comes from Adrienne's book, Pleasure Activism. She asks these questions. And she kind of offers a list of the ways that we've been taught about what it means to love that aren't super accurate. And these include things like defining love by obligation. This is all the couples work I do. I'm like, do not compromise with your partner anymore. Like, do not do things because you think you have to do them in order to get love. Now, that is authoritarianism. Parenting, a lot of our parents parented us this way. I'm trying to not parent my children that way. It's very hard because we live in that system. I was parented that way, but it's sort of saying that in order to get the love or in order to show somebody I love, I need to sacrifice myself. And that we're like big no. Other ways that aren't really accurate, celebrating love only on externally marked holidays, like Valentine's Day, birthdays, like, oh, like that's only when or Mother's Day, like, oh, as a mom, like that's when I get to receive love. That's the only time I get to like really prioritize myself. It's like let's X that out too. Um, Framing love as a fairy tale without really looking at the whole aspect of what it means to love in a relationship with oneself and another, that it often includes a lot of conflict and a lot of difficulty. That love does not mean that it is always passionate, beautiful, great. And you will probably experience that through our time together as well, in this, if you join the series, that you'll see that over time, that sometimes being with oneself actually means staying with what's uncomfortable long enough to really receive it. Framing love as a product that we give each other, framing love as a limited resource that gets swallowed up and used up, um, and prioritizing romantic love over self-love. Okay. So this self-seduction practice, these practices that we'll do a little bit today, and especially in the No Ordinary Love series, is that it's really like a soul retrieval through self-connection and pleasure. It's soul retrieval through self-connection and pleasure. We are going to reclaim those parts of ourselves that have been cast out, that we have left behind, and integrate the fragmented aspects of the self and feel more whole, feel more embodied, and feel more alive. So some of the work that we'll do is, in some ways, can be considered somatics. I'm not going to go into that definition right now. But mostly, I just want us to pay attention, or a lot of the work that we'll do is paying attention to our bodies, noticing our thoughts, images, movements, or behaviors of the body, emotions, and sensations. And this particular link, which if you've been in mine or Adriana, my teacher, or Carmen's stuff, you will have seen this before, but I'll just put it here. This is the emotions, feelings, and sensations sheet, and you can reference that to just stay in touch with sensations, or to give you a word list of language for emotions or sensations. We're not going to have time to kind of go into that today, but I'll just leave that there with you. So, the self and the soul. The self and the soul. And this is who is coming into relationship through the self seduction, and the soul is seducing the self is seducing the soul. Our human body, our animalistic body, our primal consciousness, our soul body, our pure eternal essence of ourself, total love, total primal nature coming together and embodying and making love together, and we'll see what happens. So this first practice that we're going to do, so we're going to take about 20 more minutes. If you have to leave right at 8 o'clock, you're welcome to just log off. Otherwise, we're going to keep going. And the first thing we're going to do is a little bit of a mindfulness practice. We're going to observe the eyes and the ears, the hands, and the feet. And I'm going to guide you through that. If you have a mirror, like right now, I have my camera on, and I would invite you, if you want, you can have the camera on. I have mine pinned. I don't think it should show the people that are here, because I just have it speaker view it, and I'm pinned. So hopefully that will be fine. But if you want to use your camera for the eye part or the ear part, otherwise you can take your phone or your computer into a bathroom, or grab a handheld mirror. And if you're going to sign up for the No Ordinary Love series, you'll want to always bring a journal and a mirror probably to our practices. Okay, so I'm going to put on a song.
We've been prepared for these times, I know. I see myself clearly.
And if at any time the music is too loud or not loud enough, you can always let me know. So first, just wherever you are, you can close your eyes.
I see myself through the eyes.
Maybe place a hand on your heart, womb, or belly. Maybe giving yourself a hug.
Through the eyes of God, through the eyes.
Take a few deep rounds of breath.
I see myself through the eyes of God. I see myself through the eyes of God. I see myself clearly. I see myself through the eyes.
You're ready to blink open your eyes, and if you have a mirror, you can look into it and just notice your eyes.
Of God, through the
See maybe the color of your eyes. If you don't have a mirror, you can just simply close your eyes and touch them. And in fact, even if you have a mirror, I would suggest you do that anyway.
I see myself through the eyes.
I love it. My son actually just this morning said, "What's inside of your eyes?" So intuitive. And so we Googled what it looks like inside of an eye, and you can imagine this like meaty center with vessels and all the things that go along with your eye. If you can touch the bones around your eyes.
I know you're doing your best.
And bringing your hands to your ears. And again, if you're in a mirror, you can just look, give them a little look. Notice that you have ears. A little trippy.
And you wonder why you're here.
Maybe pull them out a little bit.
Where else would you be?
And then you can close your eyes or keep them open. And just
it's crystal clear.
Placing your fingers in,
the future's hard
around,
to see.
feeling the earlobes.
Maybe peace be upon you as you walk this road of life.
Maybe putting the fingers just over the ears.
Maybe
You can say something out loud and hear your own voice. Hello. Hello. Notice the ability to hear. Finally, not quite finally, next, the hands next. So this you won't need a mirror since you can see your hands, your own eyes. You're just going to take a moment, a good minute here, to look at each hand. And if you feel yourself just kind of like looking but not seeing, so just remind yourself, like, oh, this is a hand and this is my hand. You might think about all the things you touched today. Feel your own touch on each hand as if think, oh, this is what people feel when I touch their hand. This is what they feel when I touch their hand. The warmth, the ridges, maybe their palms are sweaty or cold. Try not to judge, just notice. sides of the hands.
As you walk this road of
You might notice them age or
Maybe
vital.
be upon you. May you find your light. And may you
It's an
find
energy
your
of
light.
gratitude, of curiosity, like, this is the first time I've ever noticed I have hands.
As you walk this
You know,
road
stroking
of
one finger
life. May peace be
and
upon
around the
you.
finger.
May you feel alive.
It's like two lovers just feeling each other's hands. Now move to the feet. The same thing that we did with the hands, we're just going to do with the feet. So you can just take one finger, or you just noticed your eyes seeing your hands touching and feeling. So let all of that start to integrate. Your ears hearing the music. You notice, like, oh, I have feet. This body, these are my feet. You can even say that out loud. Oh, these are my feet. These are my feet that walk every day, that get out of bed every day. Looking at both sides. Noticing each toe, even that little pinky toe, the places inside of each toe, and making sure that you look at both feet.
I sing like the birds, I grow like the trees. I choose to live in love. I am joy, I am ease. I sing like the birds,
Noticing your own
I
body.
grow like the
If you
trees.
feel yourself kind of
I choose
losing
to live in
concentration
love.
or focus,
I
that's no
am
problem.
joy, I am peace.
Just bring yourself back to the room you're sitting in. Remind yourself that I am, in fact, alive. I am here. This is my body, my eyes, my ears, my hands, and my feet. These parts of my body that have seen what they've seen, heard what they've heard, felt, touched, grabbed what they have wanted. Feet that have stepped, have walked, have held me. So just in that spirit of gratitude, just another moment. Feel your hands, feeling your feet.
I choose to live in love. I am light, I am grace.
So now we're going to move into a little bit of movement. So you can go ahead and stand up.
I choose to live in love.
Don't believe
I
it.
am light, I am grace. Om Shri
Good. And if you have a hard time hearing me, just let me know. But we're going to use our eyes, our ears, our hands, and our feet. Now you might start with one. So as you move your body, start to let your eyes be known. Look around and see the space around you. Like, oh, your way to be walking around. I'm not going to move too much so that you guys can stay with my face. But you can be moving your body, walking around, you can unravel. And then bringing your attention to your ears and letting your ears hear what they're hearing. Pink ears. Feel the sound coming in to your ears.
In the light of God's name,
keep going. And as you continue to
Just
move around
imagine
start to unravel
we
your
woke
body.
up in paradise. Don't need magic.
Chris,
Let my thoughts just carry us home.
your shoulders, your head,
home
and neck.
tonight.
All the while remembering, thank you, eyes. Wow, my eyes.
Future's
Matthew's
golden.
eyes. Sarah's
Don't let
eyes.
go. Don't give it up.
Ollie's eyes.
Just
Allie's eyes.
keep
Whoever is watching
holding.
this right now.
Even when you've had enough, I will
My
be
ears
like
hearing this song and Jackie's voice.
when you're low, I'll lead you home, chariot.
In any way that feels really pleasurable and caring.
Take you back to
might look
where
at
you're
me now.
from, chariot.
Wow, I am alive. I'm alive, and these are my hands.
One step forward on
Maybe
the
it's
road
your
ahead
own
of us.
clothes
Don't
or your
look
own
back.
body. Maybe it's
You just need a bit of luck. Oh,
so thank you, hands. Thank you for the sense
tonight.
of touch.
When you're low, I'll lead you home, chariot.
Gratitude.
Take you back to where you're from, chariot.
Thank you for the sense of touch. Thank you, eyes, for the ability to
When you're low, I'll lead you home, chariot. Take you back to where you're from, chariot.
continue to breathe.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
As you bring your attention now down to your feet,
yeah,
these beautiful
yeah,
feet on the floor.
yeah, 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 yeah.
You might bring your hands down, touch your feet, bless you, the connection they have for all the things connected, even as they bring you back out.
When you're low, I'll lead you home, chariot.
Bring you one direction, another.
Take you back to where you're from, chariot.
Through. Straight line.
When you're low, I'll lead you home, chariot.
Keep going, this and that. I thank you. My ears, thank you. My hands, thank you. My feet, bless you for carrying my body, helping me dance and move from here to there. We're gonna go for one more song, and I'm gonna stop talking. I'm just gonna let you go for it.
She's someone I wanna be lovely for, someone who makes me want to explore what it's like to remember to drink water, what it's like to face hurt from your father.
Okay, so I'm
She's
gonna
someone
switch
I wanna
the
be
song quick.
open
So
to float
this is
on
gonna
my
be a
back,
terrible
staring
DJ move
into the
moment,
blue.
but here we go.
Think
This is gonna be our last song. And hopefully it's loud enough for you.
I've been given this body, and I can't change that. No, I can't change that. But I can look in the mirror and say a big thanks. I'll say a big thank you to my heart for beating, my lungs for breathing. I never asked them to, I never asked them to. Oh, my legs for walking, my voice for talking. I never asked them to. I never asked them to. Oh, I love my body, 'cause my body loves me. I love my body,
Feeling
'cause my body
gratitude.
loves me.
If there's a part of you that wants to resist or judge, if we just settle into some
I'll say a big
appreciation for
thank you to
our
my
guest
eyes for blinking and my brain for thinking. I never asked them to. I never asked them to. Oh, my ears for hearing and my wounds for healing. I never asked them to. I never asked them to. Oh, I love my body, 'cause my body loves me. I love my body, 'cause my body loves me. Oh,
You have a mirror, you can
and I never asked
you wanna
it
turn on
to.
the camera,
I
just
never
like
asked
that.
it to.
Do a little look yourself in the eye, or at least if you don't have a mirror, feel
And
yourself.
I'm so sorry that sometimes I forget that you're the reason I'm alive. I call your names, list things I hate and want to hide, but I will try to be more kind. I love my body, 'cause my body loves me. I love my body, 'cause my body loves me. And I love my body,
From wherever you
'cause
are,
my
you can
body
start to make your way
loves
to
me.
the floor.
I
Your
love
Start to bring
my
yourself
body,
down, maybe onto hands and knees.
'cause my body
Maybe
loves
going
me.
straight to your back.
And I
Laying on
never
your belly.
asked it to. I never asked it to. I never asked it to. I never asked it to.
Just come down to rest. Making space to receive.
I know you're doing your best in the face of the worst. Some days you feel blessed, some days you feel cursed, and you wonder why you're here. But where else would you be? Some days it's crystal clear, but sometimes the future's hard to see. Maybe peace be upon you as you walk this road of life. May peace be upon you. May you find your light.
as you rest on the earth,
May all your dreams come true.
notice the sensation and feeling in your body,
Pain and sorrow
your being.
someday make sense to you. And may all the things that hurt you,
When you're ready, you can
turn them into
wiggle your fingers, your toes.
laugh and sing and dance and move and cry through all the feelings in your heart.
Maybe taking a nice big stretch before shifting to one side of your body. If you're on the floor, you're still in like a child's pose or on your belly, you can just bring yourself up to your seat.
Be upon you, may you find your light.
We'll just maybe take another 3 minutes here to finish with a writing practice.
Be upon you.
So you can grab your journal or piece of paper or computer and pull up a note, and we're just going to free write for 3 to 5 minutes. And the writing prompt is, I want you to know who I am. I want you to know who I am. And I put it in the chat for you. So go ahead and just go for it. Try not to edit, or you don't have to make it look beautiful. Just let yourself put a pen to paper. I want you to know who I am.
Said that it gets easier, that we grow with time, and now we search for meaning in the hopes of getting it right, and I swear that I've been trying, but it ain't been enough. Oh no, I'm searching for some meaning, but the road it gets tough, gets real tough. All I need is hope when it gets hard. All I need is meaning through the dark. All I need is something to light the spark. All I need is reason to restart. Give me one more reason to restart and have hope again. If I just I don't have all of the answers. No, no. It takes patience to make things work. I'm slowly seeming to find. Despite all the obstacles, I'm patient.
Moments here.
I gotta be. For only in the practice will I find my way.
Feel free to take all the time that you need. Of course, as we're winding down, you're welcome to just keep going with this self-love practice as you move into your evening. But if this feels complete for now, you can pause the writing and, if anybody wants to share theirs in the chat or say a little bit of what you're noticing after that practice, I would be so grateful to receive your responses. Of course, you take care of you, so whatever you need to do for yourself is just fine. I just want to say a few things um, before we end, which is if you can, uh, whether you're joining us for the No Ordinary series or not, I invite you this week to create a pleasure altar. So it's an altar specifically dedicated to your pleasure. You can fill it with sticky fruit, sweet smells, sacred water, thick earth, and have it be centered around fire of some sort. Gratitude is also a part of pleasure as well, and then gratitude is naturally protective. So it might be kind of nice to take one of the original questions we had, which was um, who who or what taught you to feel good? Who awakened your senses? And you can think of lovers, teachers, friends, animals, banisters, horses, whatever comes to mind, TV shows, music, artists, musicians, painters, a place in nature. It could be, someone you saw, a person on the street, an icon of sorts. So you can just like go wild with it, like create a note on your phone, and then whenever it pops up, it's so good just to think about like who and or what taught me to feel good, who awakened my senses. Maybe it was your first lover or a great lover of the past. Um, oh, I just noticed Sarah had said, I loved the feeling water running in my body. Yes. Oh, I love that so much. Um, so start writing a list and put those people on your altar if those people are places. If there's people who are still in your life, or even if they're not, you could always reach out and say thank you. This would be a great week to say, hey, I just want to say you taught me so much about, or you taught me XYZ about pleasure, and you helped awaken my senses to XYZ. You could say that to the honey, like, oh my God, the honey that I put in my matcha in the mornings. It's like I might even just say thank you to that honey tomorrow morning and say, God, thank you for teaching me about sweetness and awakening my tongue to the sweetness of the honeybee. And so it's just about practicing gratitude and letting that like, ooh, like letting yourself know and remember that we're never alone on this journey of reclaiming our pleasure and our self-love and seducing ourselves. So all of this is just creating a practice. So an altar to your pleasure and a gratitude practice to all of those people, places, things that have helped awaken your senses and um, taught you how to feel good, because that's really important and the whole reason why we're here. Okay, so again, if you want to join me for the No Ordinary Love series, I would totally love it if you could. It's $35 for the 2 sessions in June, and those dates are, I'll just put them on here really quick. It's just going to take me a second. I want to make sure I get it right because I'm terrible with dates and times. I always get it wrong. Okay. So it is, let's see, June 12th and June 26th. Um, the 26th one, I'm just noticing I have a little bit of a scheduling. I don't know why I double scheduled myself. So, but we'll just put the June 12th to June 26th, and it's at 8 from 8 to probably 9:15 p.m. The 26th one might be a little bit later in the evening. But at least join me for June 26th. And It's the No Ordinary Love series. If you have any questions about it, let me know, or you can go on my website and book your spot if you want to come. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me for this little dip into what it means to seduce oneself. And we're going to do a lot of fun things in the No Ordinary Love series. It's not always going to look like today. Some days will consist of more writing. Some days will consist of guided practices to help you retrieve shadow material and come into relationship with them. We'll use ritual and prayerformance and sharing, writing, embodiment, movement, and womb work, and eventually moving into some self-touch practices and mirroring practices. So my hope is that this just continues to be something that unfolds for those who need it, and I'm here. So I hope you enjoyed it. If any of you want to share a little bit about how this was for you today, you can. I'm going to stop the recording. I'll probably hang out for another 5 minutes, and then I got to prep for my, or just switch to my couples live that's going on in 30 minutes. So, okay, if you're doing the recording, please tell me how this went, and we'll see you soon.